I don't have that. All right, and that is the show. Have a great day, everybody. 150, fantastic. Sergio, it's been a pleasure. But we're wrapping it up now, so we'll see you.
This is our last show.
I got to do something. I got to do something fun. But Sergio, what's going on?
This is our last episode, so cheers to 150.
150 strong.
YouTube, apple juice. It's apple juice. Anyway, yeah, we made it to 150, bro. How many more do you think we have in ourselves?
I think maybe 3 or 4.
3 or 4? Okay. All right. All right.
I don't know. Maybe another 100. Maybe another 150. I don't know. But yeah, today's a crazy episode because it's the 150th episode of the show. Actually, it's almost 3 years. Late April 26th was the premiere. So that week is actually the 3-year mark. So yeah, it's been a hell of a journey for sure, huh?
You bet. Yeah, we've done some good, we've done some bad, we pissed some people off,
Got millions of dollars to drivers.
Yeah, we sure have gotten millions of dollars to drivers, but I'll do a little heartfelt thank you at the end of the episode. So let's get the show rolling, baby.
All right. Well, we have a great show for everybody coming up. So let's get right into the rundown. What we got going on today, we have special guest Nicole Moore of Rideshare Drivers Union coming on in just a few moments. We're going to be talking about, is it still possible to earn $3K a week driving Uber and Lyft? Then we're going to be talking about Lyft replacing the ride challenges for EV drivers. We're also going to talk about how to turn off Lyft ride switches on the way to pickup. We're going to be talking about, can Lyft and Uber minor problem for drivers be solved by Waymo? Also, Uber tip shaving is back. What the heck's going on there? Sergio is getting over $1,650 back from the IRS with the help of SETC. So that's pretty cool. We're going to talk about that. So where's my bottle? You're supposed to serve me one, man, with all that cash coming in.
Hey, man,
Uber's constantly losing money on this driver. How does he do it? How dash cams can help, and facts and funnies. So with that being said, let's get right into the show and bring our guest on, Nicole. Nicole, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Hey, Nicole, how are you?
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you. So Nicole is no stranger to Show Me the Money. She was on about a year and a half ago. I would say maybe a couple of years ago. So many thanks for you to show up. I think it's an important topic, but I have to mention it. So Nicole was lived in Altadena, and she lost her house to the fire. So thank you for coming on under those circumstances. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope everything is going well as it can go, but let's just jump right in. So let's start with what this is all about, because last week my news feed was literally blasted with wage theft claims. There is some, negotiations are happening now. So let's take it from the start. How did you guys do it? Because I know you guys were integral part as drivers of Rideshare Drivers United, were an integral part of this, of the ball rolling, get the ball rolling. And then we are here now after, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years. So give us a little bit color on how this all started, and we'll get into what's happening now.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much, Sergio and Chris, for the opportunity, and because this is so important. I want to start just with why wage claims, why wage theft. The first thing to know is that any place where labor is identified as having particular rights because you have a job, because you have a boss. In almost every courtroom, not just in this state, not just in this country, but around the world, people see us under the law as due labor rights, because the honest to God truth is these algorithms are our boss. So it's not the same as having a human being breathe down your neck, but we know the phones are breathing down our neck and making us, work at times that we don't want to, because we have to chase a surge or a certain number of rides or whatever. And the way the law sees that is, that means we have labor rights. It means we're due minimum wage, we're due overtime, we're due things like unemployment insurance, workers' compensation, except in the case where we have a law like Prop 22 that says that forbids, drivers and other app workers from being considered under labor law. And so the companies work really hard to get those kinds of laws passed, because they want to not have to pay us that money. And so everything before Prop 22 in this state, we were covered under labor law. And we all remember AB 5, which passed in 2020. It became effective in 2020. AB 5 would just codified the legal processes, court cases that said, hey, here's the conditions under which you consider people employees. And it's not about 40 hours a week. It's not about the boss telling you when you have to work. None of that. It's about that we are controlled by a boss. We do not set our own wages. The boss sets our wages. It's all of that stuff. So in any case, when AB 5 passed, though, we thought because there's not wiggle room anymore, the companies will, of course, have to pay us better. Didn't happen.
Well, I remember they ignored the law. They ignored it completely for that whole year after AB 5 passed. Actually, Uber tried to do some things to make us look like independent contractors. Like they gave us we could set our own surge multiplier, things like that to kind of make, but Lyft completely ignored it. I remember that distinctly. And then, So you go ahead.
Yeah. And I mean, the multiplier was very popular. Right. And people wanted to keep that. And it was sort of incentive for people to vote for Prop 22. And what happened when Prop 22 passed is they took it away. Right. So, yeah. I mean, you just if it's not in writing, if it doesn't make sense to you, it probably is a lie. So at the beginning of 2020, we were like, when are they going to do this? When are they going to make it so that we're actually getting at least minimum wage after expenses, considering our wait time, all that stuff? They didn't do it. So there's this thing called the Labor Commission of California, and their job is to specifically stop employers that are stealing from employees. And they have a form that you fill out, and you say, here's how much I made, here's how many hours I put in, here were my expenses to do that. And we started filling those out. It's a lot of work. It's a PDF, you have to fill it in, and then you have to send it in and all that. And, we 100 people filled it out in the first 4 weeks. And we were like, this is not right. We know there's tens of thousands of drivers who would be filling this out if they knew about it. And so we made it into a web tool within 2 weeks. 5,000 drivers had filled out those forms. Ooh. And because drivers shared with us what their claims were, and those 5,000 plus drivers were owed more than $1.3 billion for that period of time. Wow. And that's billion with a B, right? So it was an incredible amount of money. Half of that was damages. When somebody steals from you, that's a damage. And so you get compensation for that. But if you just look at straight compensation, it's more than $600 million that we were owed.
So that's just the 5,000 drivers. That's
5,000.
So okay, so let's just clear this up. So the 5,000 drivers, who some may be RDU members, some may not be, they filed with the labor commissioner, correct?
Mhm.
As wage theft, because we were considered to be employees of Uber and Lyft for 4 years until Prop 22 was passed. So for those 5 years, the way the calculations work, to my understanding, is that you need to get paid for all the online hours, because that hocus pocus active hour, whatever, that just means nothing, right? So is that what you guys are doing? Strictly like taking the online hours, multiplying it with some sort of a number? What is that number? Like, is it minimum wage, or what is it? Like, how are you guys coming up with this money?
Yeah. So the way we calculated that, and people had some ability to change the numbers how they saw it, because that's how that form works. But the way it works is how many hours were you actively working? And believe me, when you're waiting at Dodger Stadium for the game to be let out, that's work. It's value to the customer. It's value to the company. You should be paid for it. So it's your time on app. It's your time while you have a passenger in the back. All of that you should be earning at least minimum wage.
Okay.
In addition, you should be getting your expenses back. And the way we calculate expenses for my day job, if I have to go to a meeting across town, I get paid my regular paycheck. But on top of that, I get IRS reimbursement for all of my miles, right?
Okay.
Right now, that's 70 cents a mile.
It's actually 75.
Honestly, that's more than a lot of us that offered for
2025, it's 75 cents a mile.
Yeah.
So this went to court. I know it did. First time from my recollection is that state attorney general, the city attorney general of San Diego, Los Angeles, and San Francisco all joined, went to court. Uber appealed. I think it was 2023 that appeal was like thrown out, right? So they said this could proceed to go to trial.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So give us a little bit of color about that, how that worked out.
Yeah. I mean, so what happened is those individual claims were pulled back. The Labor Commission decided to sue on behalf of all drivers during that time period. And then the Attorney General in the 3 cities came in and said, doing the same thing. The Attorney General is also suing for unpaid unemployment, because even though we at that time were eligible to receive unemployment, the companies weren't paying into it, right? Yeah. So anyway, so there's a lot of stuff tied up in that. But in addition is 4 years of drivers' pay. So those became 2 separate lawsuits. And then there's also PAGAs out there, where private lawyers are taking on these kinds of wage claim cases for drivers, right? So there's a lot of cases that were very similar. The first 6 months or so, the companies were really pushing for all of those to be in the same courtroom. That's fine. It took a while for that to happen. And then what you're talking about is they made a very specious argument, full of baloney argument that was that the state couldn't enforce their own laws because we had signed, arbitration mandates, right? Yep. Well, no, guess what? The state of California gets to, enforce their own laws. And one way is to get people's money back if it's stolen. And so that went, but because they had to entertain this stupid argument, I went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court sent it back down. And that's when these claims finally, 4 years later, they started talking about the stuff in court again. And that's how they landed in settlement negotiations in January, right? And all of this is publicly available on the court site. You can see the dates that they have planned. What's going on in there is secret. So that's why we have to get activated, right? We cannot sit back and be silent right now, because as well-intentioned as the state is and the 3 cities, they're very strong and they want drivers to have fair pay, right? They don't understand the industry like drivers do.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get there. We're going to get there in a minute. We're going to get there in a minute. So a lot of, cats flying. I can't even watch it, but drivers in California. Okay. This is not just for the 5,000 drivers that filled out the RDU website form.
Right.
This could be potentially, look, many, as you know, in rideshare, people last about 6 to 8 months. Most quit, right? After 6 to 8 months.
Yes.
But the estimates are that it could be up to 250,000 drivers could be benefiting from this, full-time, part-time, whatever you were. Okay. So if you're in California and if you drove between the years of 2016 and 2020 up until Prop 22 became law, you're going to be entitled to something. We don't know because they're in negotiations. And what you said, Nicole, is very true. The politicians may have the right heart, things in their heart with the right thought process. But since they're not drivers, because this happens, by the way, like this happened with the state AG settlement in Massachusetts. It happened in New York. They have their heart's in the right place, but they don't know the business, and they're in the room with a bunch of sharks, right? Yes. So I'm hoping that you're part of it, or I'm glad to go testify to whatever is necessary as far as drivers are concerned, because I know the business as much as Uber knows the business. There has to be a voice in there that directs the politicians in a way that they don't even get cornered, bamboozled, and we need to get the drivers whatever they're just due. So I'm volunteering. So here it is. So I know they're in what do you call those? Some not settlement negotiation, is it mitigation or whatever it is? So it started yesterday, I think, right? On Monday.
Well, they had their first meeting towards the end of January, right? Okay. And this was the second one, and it was yesterday. It was the 31st. And they're having separate meetings with Lyft and Uber, and it's all on the court website when they're scheduled. So just, so that just to know what this process is. I mean, anytime you go to court, usually the judge will say, well, why don't you try to do this out of court first? And so you have to participate in that, because you have to show good faith that you're willing to try to work it out. Right. And so that's what this is. It could be decided in one of those meetings, right? Or they could schedule out more meetings. We don't know. I mean, I would imagine it will take a while to get through a settlement agreement. But
well, I mean, look,
they could come out today and say it's done.
If it's 250,000 drivers and you're 5,000. If you guys came up with just on the online hour, not the damages, $650 million, multiply that or just extrapolate that to 250,000 drivers. This could be like tens of billions of dollars.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm thinking, okay, the other thing I know is I follow Uber and Lyft as close as anybody. I'll ask you this question, maybe but when was the last time Uber and Lyft went to actual trial about any lawsuit? Over hundreds of times. Never.
They often settle.
Never, right? Because they don't want to, during discovery, all their dirty laundry is going to come out, right? And they're just going to settle. Now, I hope the AGs and the city AGs do the right thing and don't cave and don't go with like some lowball number. But I don't see it being a lowball number. So if you're again in California, my email is sergio@therideshareguy.com. We'll give you guys, obviously updates on this. But so what is your best guess? And so if the talks fall apart, they're going to go to trial, right? There's going to be a trial date set.
Well, and here's what I would say. If the companies continue to lowball them in settlement, the state and the cities have to go to court.
Okay.
We cannot let these companies off the hook for violating California law in the state that they're, where they grew up in. Like, this is not okay. And the thing that scares me is that $1 billion sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah.
But $1 billion is what 5,000 drivers were owed. Yep. And, if we're not out here yelling and screaming and about it and saying, no, this is tens of billions of dollars, the state might not realize that would be like giving us $200 checks when we're owned 200,000, right? Yeah. So we have to be willing as a state to go to court.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. And again, you know, if I'm still doing this, I definitely want to be some sort of witness on that, because I look, I drove from 2016 to 2020.
Me
I want
too.
my money.
Right.
So I know you guys did to keep this in the news or to keep this going, obviously. There were some protests done, right? You were
Mhm.
part of it in downtown last week, and
Yeah.
there was one in San Diego, there was one in San Francisco. Look, people, I mean, RDU does great work, and Nicole, even with all her personal issues, and you guys must understand, she lost her house in the fires, literally, like burned to the ground. Okay, she's doing God's work, helping drivers, and the community of drivers. So, when they call for action, please show up. Right? I mean, it doesn't cost anything to be a member of RDU. Period. You just go fill out the form, become a member. I'm a member. I get emails from them, automatic emails, and they have the opt-out clauses. They have great things on their website that they have done. So I'll give you the floor in closing, right?
Yeah.
So please keep us posted whenever, you know, protests are happening, because we need to keep this in the news,
Yes.
and we need to make sure that the drivers who drove their cars into the ground, their bodies into the ground for 4 years, that they get what they deserve.
Yeah. And, you know, what I want to say too is that, you know, what we've seen other states do is sometimes settle for something they think is great. Like the state of Massachusetts, strong attorney general, absolutely on driver's side, settle for $34 an hour minimum. Now, we all know that that means $7 an hour after everything else, right? After your wait time, it's not good. And drivers actually knew that, but the attorney general didn't know how it worked. So, you know, so drivers are making less money in Massachusetts than before the settlement, that's a shame, right?
Yeah.
And we know what drivers need is a rate card that is high enough to ensure a decent hourly that includes, you know, that makes up for the fact that we're not getting paid unless there's somebody in the back, that makes up for the fact that our expenses are very high. So we need a good rate card, like 175.60, right? That's the kind of rate card we need in California, so that we can keep an apartment, so that we can put food on the table, so that we can take a weekend off and go with our kids to Disney. Like, those are the things that drivers don't do anymore. We drive ourselves into the ground to keep food on the table, and we don't even see our kids. So you can't do that. So I just want to say, they have to do the right settlement. It has to be for the right things. And don't give up all the money, because that's real money. Most of us are in debt from the transmission that went out during that time, or the new car we had to buy when we still had a note on the other one that died. Like, it's not right. We really are owed a lot of money. So, so I would just say that they have to go to court if they think they're not settling right, and don't fall for the baloney that other folks do. And then you're absolutely right. We have to be the loudest, noisiest, most annoying group of drivers in California right now, saying that it's not okay. We had the protests last week. We're going to have more, right? We're going to time them to make sure that the folks making these decisions hear us. We have a petition going right now. It's a great way to, you know, do something easy, but like, we need to get thousands and thousands of people on this petition who are drivers. I think we opened it up today and we already have 1,000, but it should be 10,000 drivers on there, you know? And it's at the top of our webpage, which is drivers-united.org. So it's at the very top of our webpage. You can go in there and sign. And once you sign, you also will get, you know, updates on this stuff as well. So, so I really would encourage people to do that. And Sergio, thank you. If we sit back and wait for other people to go yell about what's really going on in this industry, it's not going to happen. We have to get ourselves involved. We have to get other people involved, right? Go get other people to sign the petition so that they're in the know, you know? So.
So we'll put the link in the show notes. I mean, the worst comes to worst, just go to www.ridesharedriversunited.com. Period.
It's drivers-united.com.
Okay, drivers-united.com, and then
You mean
no,
.org?
.org. Oh my gosh, .org.
no, we'll put the correct one in the show notes. But so go sign the petition, go become a member of RDU. Again, no charge. They do great work. Okay, we don't always agree, but 9 out of 10 things we do agree. I've known Nicole for how long have I known you now? 5 years, 6 years?
At least 5 years, man.
I've been to protests with her, and we've done it all. And this last one I couldn't go, but next one, promise you, I'll be there. Yeah. And again, this is not a strike. This is not those things. This is trying to get potentially 250,000 drivers. They're just due. That's it. We're not asking for more or less this or that. Mm-hmm. This is the law. They broke the law. They got to pay. Yeah. And I hope we can push this forward, and they don't pull the rug. I mean, these companies are strong, Nicole. They have very strong lobbyists. They're Uber's $170 billion company. I mean, they have power. But on this one, I'm all in. Whatever is needed.
And I'll say, we're not powerful at all when we're sitting in our car by ourselves with our little phone. But when we act together, I mean, we are responsible for tanking their IPO, Uber's IPO, in 2019 when we went on strike. And we went on strike not just here in California, we went on strike all over the world. And all of a sudden, people saw that it wasn't just this shiny new unicorn company, but it was a company that had big labor problems. And they know our power. And that's why they want to keep us off the streets and not on the petitions and stuff. But you know what? It's not going to stop us.
No, I take my hat off to you. Look, I take my hat off to you under your, terrible personal circumstances. You're doing really great work. And, and a lot of drivers I talk to thousands of drivers. They're always complaining about something, right? They always want something done for them. Well, this is the time you guys come together and do something, because if you're in California, if you drove between 2016 and 2020, you got something coming your way. The only way you're going to get it is not by just saying, okay, I'll just wait for my check. No, you need to have your voices come out. You need to be really loud, and you need to make sure these politicians, do the right thing for you. But anyway, so thank you. I appreciate you coming on. I hope everything is good. I don't know what to tell you. Losing a house after God knows how many years you've been in it is a horrible thing, but you're strong. I know you, so you'll be fine.
Got to move forward, right? So that's what we're doing.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks a lot, Sergio. Good to see you, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Nicole. All right. So yes, website is in the description, as well as I had posted it in the chat. So you're able to check that out. Check out their website. So all California drivers, head over there, sign that petition, get it going. 5,250, a lot to go.
Well, I mean, shit, they figured 5,000 drivers, just the online hours that they're going to get paid, right? $650 million. I mean, that's $130,000, Chris, per driver.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because you know how the hocus pocus works, right? Oh, active hour, you're making 30. Yeah, but I'm utilizing 50%. 50% of the time I'm sitting with my app on, twiddling my fingers, right? Well, you're going to get paid for those hours. And you guys need to figure this shit out. This is serious stuff.
But then you know what they're also going to pull. They're going to say, hey, but you could be on multiple platforms at the same time.
Great.
Well, that's what you put together.
They will have to, if it comes to that, I'm sure they will have some sort of a way of figuring it out. Maybe they'll take the one that you're the longest on and eliminate the other one. Mm-hmm. If it comes to that, I'm sure there's going to be ways.
Think about it. If some people were on for 60 hours a week,
yep,
but you're doing it between two, that would probably look like you'd be on it 80 hours a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And you know, active hours out of that 60 is probably 30, right?
mhm.
And if your utilization is 50%, and so you need to get paid, and you need to get paid for expenses. Maybe they'll retroactively go back to the IRS standard mileage deduction for 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. Figure that out as well, because look, all this data, by the way, Uber has all this data, Lyft has all this data. They know exactly how many online hours you spent. They know how many miles you drove. They know all of it. There's no ifs and buts about it. So yeah, please go sign the petition. And if you are in California and you drove, you got some money coming your way. Hopefully. I'm not saying when. Don't bombard me with email saying, where's my money? They're in settlement talks. But knowing
we're
Uber
gonna
and
settle
Lyft
for
well,
5%.
I mean, knowing Uber and Lyft well, they will not go to court. They just won't. Because
They'll try, yeah, they'll try
everything is
their
going to be
hardest not
opened up.
to.
Algo is going to be opened up. You know, all the stuff that they've been pulling is going to be, is going to be open in the open, and they never go to court. Maybe this is the time, though. Who knows? We'll see.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go back and do a couple of things. First off, if you're a driver and would like to be on behind the wheel, we're always looking for drivers' stories. Everybody's got one, why they're driving, some of the tips and tricks that they've learned along the way. Even if you're brand new, we had a commenter the other day say they made $900 plus in the first 4 days that they worked. So congrats to them. But yeah, everybody's got a story. Everybody's got something that they want to talk about. It's a great little series as well, too, because it's highlighting different drivers throughout the country and actually part of the world, because we've had some across I think in Australia was one, and
Yep.
then in UK.
Yep.
So we've had quite a few drivers. So it's actually international at this point now. And Sergio is the one who does the interview. Don't worry, he doesn't bite. He might seem a little tough, but he's just a big giant teddy bear, and that's what his wife says. So, but yeah.
I don't know about
Sergio, if you
that.
want to talk more about behind the wheel, kind of like what you do, and kind of put
Okay,
people's
so
minds at ease about it.
I love doing these because it's just a free flowing, open conversation. No script, no muzzle, nothing. You say whatever you want to say, and I'm just there to listen and walk in and out of questions that may come to my mind. So please email me. Okay, we don't have a candidate. I have one candidate. I'm chasing him down. Okay, I don't know what it is, Chris. They commit. They go, yeah, I want to do it, right? And I send them the Zoom link, and then when the time comes, crickets. What happens? I don't. Okay, by the way, do not be intimidated, or do not be fearful that Uber will see this and they will retaliate. Lyft will see that they're not gonna.
No.
Just come on, say your piece, and we put it on. Thousands of people watch it. It's very good. I love doing him as much as I love doing the show. And so email me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. And then I'll send you a Zoom link, and you come
think of it
on
this
and
way.
go.
The amount of stuff that you and I have discovered, talked about, even the things that we're going to be talking about today, we're not worried about it, and we still can go on the apps.
Yeah, I mean, that would be actually, I mean, Uber deactivates me. That would be like awesome.
I know, right? Man.
That would be awesome, bro. Hey, Uber, what's up? But I'm serious.
Challenge
Please.
accepted.
Okay, so we're short this week. Please, somebody email me if you have something to say. Let's hop on today, tomorrow, record, and we'll put it on Thursday. Let's go.
But the simple reality is, everybody has a reason why what they're doing it for. You got it's the simple questions, the how, what, why, when, where, that type of stuff. Everybody's got a great story, and you get to use it as a great conversation. You get to see what other people are doing in a particular area or what they might be doing. It could go against the grain of what we say. And if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You can always adjust and transition and change and do different things. So it's a great conversation, and it usually is a lot of fun. And I enjoy listening to them when I can.
Yeah, they're good, man. Because You know, they've been imitated, tried to be duplicated, but never works. But long story short, email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. We'll hop on. I'll send you the Zoom link, record, put it on the channel, and your voice gets amplified. Whatever you need to say. You can be bitching about it. You can be complaining about it. You can be happy about driving Uber and Lyft, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're balanced. We're not looking for this or that. We're just looking for drivers to come on and talk to me for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's it.
All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about the first real topic, and that is it still possible to earn $3K a week driving Uber and Lyft? I mean, if you're in your car a lot, yes, you can. And this is kind of the proof right there.
We posted this on our community page. You guys should check our community page. There's some really good stuff there. So how do you get there? A lot of people go, how do you get to the community page? You go to the YouTube channel. In the middle, it'll say like live, videos, shorts, whatever. You scroll to the left. The last one, it will say community. Click on that. You'll get all those posts. So this Uber driver made $3,500 in 1 week. Nice. I was like, before I read the details of this, I was like, this must be, you know, Boston or New York City or, you know, Seattle, right? Because of the higher rates, right? No. California, Bakersfield. I'm like, how did you do that with Prop 22, bro? Now, here comes the hate, Chris. They're all going to say he has no life. You know, every dog catches a bone. They're all going to say, no, this guy's pretty consistent. So he put in 78 hours of driving during the week in Bakersfield, California.
Imagine the overtime that he would be owed.
That's a lot, bro. Right? Let's say 80 hours. What is that? If it's 80 hours, it's 40, 45?
40 hours extra at OT?
No, but I mean $40, $40, right? $45 an hour.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, even after expenses, solid. And a lot of people are going to say, okay, so $3,500 is in 1 week. And putting those hours, you could take the whole month off now. That's more than what you would make on an average W-2, by the way. So you guys know. And bad news. So there's always a bad news. Uber's take rate was 50%. He says he cherry picks the best rides, but tries to stay qualified for Uber Advantage mode. Now that I don't know if we have Advantage mode. Maybe he meant Uber Pro. Yes, it was on a 4-hour phone call. Now, this, I don't know about this. I don't think I would do that. It was on, because that's deactivation right there. It was on a 4-hour phone call during his rides. He said he likes to talk with his friend, who's also an Uber driver. See, that's a good thing to do, by the way. Always have a partner or two. You guys can just, you know, hunt surge that way, right? You guys position correctly that way. And he scored 571 in tips, although he was on the phone. And here's his earnings screenshot. So earnings were $3,000. Government taxes, third-party fees, which is airport drop-offs and things like that, was $192. Estimated commercial auto insurance, $373. Customer promos, $43. Uber service fee, $2,100. Customers paid $5,700. And he got $571.41 in tips, so he brought his total to $35.57. My hat's off to this driver. I do have an Iron Man, so now I designate him my California Iron Man because I have an Iron Man in Massachusetts. Now, here's my, you know, do we know who this guy is exactly? We do. Why don't you come on, sir? Behind the wheel.
That would be a thing right there. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely make a lot of money doing this. You just got to put the hours and the time in. Yeah. So, you know, unfortunately, it's one of those things. It's what are you going to do? It's the opportunity costs. I mean, if you want to make the money and, you know, do what you got to do in order to get that money, you know, you got to sit in your car and be driving a lot and doing a lot of different things. When it comes to, you know, the other side of that opportunity cost, you got to figure out what it's worth to you. So, yeah, you can still do it. Unfortunately, it does take 80 hours to do. But I mean, you know, if it was back in the day, maybe it might take 60. But we don't live in those days anymore.
I mean, look, 7 times 24. Okay, let's just make this clear here. 7 times 24. What is that? 28, 140, 168. There's 168 hours in a week. That You will sleep, eat, do whatever you need to do, and drive. So out of 140, 168, he drove 78 of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to also look at it that way. Is it healthy for you? Is it good? But if the return is there, if you're earning $45 an online hour, not active hour, in this case you did, I mean, maybe you can just do it for a week or 2 or 3. But there are people, man, that do this week after week after week after week. So it is possible to make some money driving in 2025.
The only thing is, it's definitely tough. But what if this particular person only sleeps like 2-3 hours a night? There's a lot of people out there that get very, very few hours of sleep, and that works for them. Other people need 7-8 hours of sleep, so it's a little bit less doable, because if you extrapolate the 7-8 hours out of that, you're pretty much in the car working the entire time that you're awake. So it's quite a bit.
Yeah, well, we have I think it's this week, right? We're releasing the video and the article, I think, next week. We'll have Jay Crater coming on next week, by the way, Chris.
Oh, nice.
We're going to talk about his weekend driving challenge that he put himself under, and the video and the article is coming out.
Wait until you see the thumbnail tomorrow.
I saw the thumbnail. I saw the thumbnail. Because, because I was like, Jay, really? I saw the thumbnail. That was pretty good. So anyway, so we're promoting Jay now. Hey, Jay, if you're watching, you're on next week. Jay has a good following, by the way. People like Jay.
Yep.
He's not an asshole like me. So, but long story short, so there is still possible to make. It's still possible to make money, but you got to put the hours in. And people are going to say, "Oh, I could have made 3,540 hours like in 2015." We're not in 2015. We're in 2025. But 3,500 is solid. It's absolutely solid number.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about Lyft replacing ride challenges with EV bonuses for our EV driver friends.
Yeah.
Oh, how fun is that?
Yeah. This is it used to be 50 trips for 100, or actually it was 50 trips for 200, then they cut it for 100. That's the one on the left. Now we have electric vehicle ride challenges. I'm not sure I like this, Chris. You know what I mean?
Why would you not like it? I mean, it's a ride challenge for EVs. You get your own special EV ride challenge.
Yeah, but then you replace
my regular ride challenge with that. Exactly. Don't worry that it replaces your original ride challenge. So you're only really getting one challenge, and you're not really making anything more than you would have with an EV ride challenge or an ICE ride challenge, because that's just a regular ride challenge. No. Don't worry about that. But you're going to love this one because it's just for EV drivers. Other drivers can't get this weekly bonus. Only EV drivers. That's how you spin it, man. That's how Uber and Lyft operate.
Yeah, that's how you spin it.
Best they can.
Hey, you sure you don't? Hey, you're a Lyft shill. You sure you don't work for Lyft, bro?
What's that? Oh,
you're a Lyft shill.
The money train is backing up.
Money train? Is it backing up? The money truck is backing up?
Yep. No. So I require a money train, not a money truck.
money train, better. Yeah. Okay. So in California, Massachusetts, Maryland, DC, metropolitan area, and Toronto, drivers with a personal electric vehicle are eligible for the EV ride challenge. So this again shows the progression of these bonuses. Okay.
You mean like regression?
Uber 100 trips, 200.
Properly, regression.
Regression. Yes, this is the regression model that we have. It's like the trend is like this, like the stock market last month or so. We're like this.
I don't know about you, but mine's going the opposite way.
I don't know, bro. I mean, if you short the market, I mean, I'm doing fine, anyway. But so now they're kind of commingling this regular ride challenge, electric vehicle ride challenge. I'm going I think this is like a cut, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I figure it's a cut. Okay.
It goes from, what was it originally? Like $200 for 50 rides or something like that?
Yeah, 50 for 200.
That's where it started. It was like 200.
It was $2. It was 100 for 200. It was $2 a trip. Better than Uber's was better than Uber's.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they cut it, and they cut it. Now we're down to this. So it says, note, the EV Ride Challenge is only available to drivers in that region above, Massachusetts, Maryland, DC metropolitan area, and Toronto, with a personal vehicle, not a rental. Got to figure that
sorry.
out. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, dun, dun, dun. Express drive renters in California and Massachusetts are eligible for a separate EV multi-tier bonus, which is a ride challenge, which we know the multi-tier, like the first 50 is nothing, but the next 10 is like the whole bonus sits there. So I think this is a cut. Lyft, what's up? What's happening? I mean, we figure these things out.
All they're doing is they're doing a quick slide right now. They're doing the magic slide of hand, and they're just saying, "Hey, here's your bonus, here's your EV bonus, and here's your weekly bonus." But we're gonna magically slide it away, and we're gonna give you the EV Ride Challenge bonus. Here you go, enjoy.
Yeah.
You get screwed again.
Yeah, but that's a Michael Jackson moonwalk, sir. I'm laughing, but this is bullshit, Lyft. Okay,
ever since the EV bonuses came out for both Uber and Lyft, I said, show me a real bonus that would actually try to get me to switch to an EV. They still haven't, and all they've done is taken them back and stepped them back and regressed them again and again. Yeah. And the fact that I would look at an EV to drive Uber and Lyft, yeah, you're joking me.
So how are these people going to electrify their fleets if they keep doing this kind of walking backwards thing? They're not. Okay. Yeah, okay.
It's all bullshit. I mean, look at all the people who are going out and keying Teslas right now. 2 years ago, they're like, you got to buy a Tesla, you got to buy an EV, you got to buy blah, 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 blah. And now they're like, F Elon and all this crap. And it's like,
yeah.
Hello?
No, well, this is a cut Lyft. It's bullshit.
It's all a show.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, so if you have an EV,
flavor of the week.
and by the way, this is like a ride challenge, meaning like next week you may not get it. Like it's like a regular ride challenge, but for EV. So not only you may be losing your regular ride challenge, but now you may get this 1 week and you may not get it another week. It's not like a guarantee that you're going to get it every week. So,
Now, you know what I want to know? Drivers in California, Massachusetts, Maryland, DC, metropolitan area, and Toronto drivers, if you are getting any type of ride challenge, whether you have an EV challenge or a regular challenge, send them our way so we can compare notes. So if you're in California and you have your weekly ride challenge come in, or your EV ride challenge, and then you have if you drive a non-EV, send us your EV challenge, or your weekly challenge, and then that way we can see, is it really better as an EV driver, or are they just kind of like screwing the numbers around and making it seem like it's really something when it's really not?
Well, you know what I'm thinking, Chris. You know what I'm thinking, right? I mean, we did the Uber, we busted Uber with their EV shenanigans, right? With upfront fares, right?
Yep.
That $1 extra was being shown, but then they were lowering the base fare, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
I don't think Lyft is that way. I think it's like a ride. You do 30 trips and then you get $50 or whatever it is. So I don't know, but then they may be lowering your base fares. They may be lowering your base fares if you have an EV ride challenge coming your way. So.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So let's say you would have normally made $1,000 for that week, but the challenge is there, and you select it, and then they're like, oh well, we're gonna squish the base pay a little bit down, so you're still getting that same $1,000, but it's gonna look like you got a $200 bonus, even though you should have really got that in the first place.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's the problem with upfront fares.
Anyway, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. If you're in one of those cities, send me a few of these. Send me a few of these challenges. Let's see what they look like. Because I'll bet you they'll go like 50 trips for $55, and then next week it'll be 50 trips, $50. Next trip it'll be 50 trips, $45. You know how the regular quests are and ride challenges are. So send me some of these screenshots. Let's see what kind of trend we see here.
That's what I'm saying. If you're getting these, send us to us. So then that way we can actually compare if the EV bonus is any different from a weekly bonus to a person who's not driving an EV.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And also send me if you're getting two ride challenges, like a regular ride challenge and an EV ride challenge. I'll bet you're not going to get it. I'll bet you just regular ride challenges will be replaced by the EV ride challenge if you're driving in an EV.
Yeah. So this is what they're doing. They're like, oh, how many people in this area have EVs and are active? Okay, well, we're going to lower that threshold because there's more drivers who are driving EVs.
There
And
you go.
then, oh, there's less. We're going to put the incentive out to get the drivers out and driving. It's the only way they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
honestly,
this is not the way to
not
electrify your fleets. This is not the way to do it. But
no, this is called a game.
yeah, typical. Anyway, all right, let's go.
Gamification. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about something that was brought up to us. We talked about this a while ago, and this is the switcheroo that Lyft likes to do. So that means if you accept a ride and you're on the way to go pick them up, and all of a sudden, you get that little damn notification that says, "Oh, rider canceled," or or you get the notification that you have a new rider, and guess what? They're 10 miles the other way that you just came from.
Yeah.
So this is a real problem. This is called screw you, the switcheroo. And a lot of people may not know about this, but you can turn that off in your app. All you have to do is go in your app to the little preferences right here. So you get your driving preferences, and then you see your destination filters, your ride, that all on top. Underneath that is your ride preferences. Go down, not ride types, not queued rides, but ride switches. Turn that off. So as you can see,
I'm looking at it as we speak.
What's up?
I'm looking at it as we speak. If mine is off.
Oh yeah. So go down. It says while driving to pick up a passenger, you may be switched automatically to a different ride. If you turn off this feature, you won't receive those ride switches. So yes, this is something that you can turn off. This is something you don't have to worry about. And this pissed me off for the longest time. And I'm so glad that they brought this like only last year. But yes, this is something that has with so many new drivers.
Okay, how did you do that again? Show me, tell me. Let me walk through. Let me walk myself through. How did you do it again?
Yeah, you just go in, open up the app.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh,
the 3 lines
open
up top.
The app, and then no. You go to next to go online where it's the little.
Oh, there's okay. I got you. Yep.
Yeah, you go down there, and then you can do ride switches.
Queued rides. Yeah, mine is off, and mine is manually accept. Click manually accept. The other one is auto accept. Click on manually accept and click update. There you go. I think this is important. Because you know what? Shit, man. I just remembered, man. Okay.
What'd you do? Did you turn the
next week? Next week we're gonna continue with this because a driver sent me. Well, we'll talk about it with the screenshots next week, but I have them and I forgot to send it to you. Make it a topic to attach to this actually. So a driver was on a trip. He got queued on a trip. He declined because it was not worth it, right?
Yep.
It was on Lyft and it was like $17, $18, right? He declined. He dropped the passenger off. He got pinged for the same damn trip this time because he didn't have the auto queue on. $35, Chris. Same trip.
What was it the first time?
17. I have the screenshot. So it proves to you guys, because I was going to do this, but next week we're going to do that. It proves to you guys to turn your no more new trips off. Okay. Go with that on Uber and go on Lyft with no switcheroo automatic bullshit that goes on. So there you go.
Yes. So that's just a reminder because again, we do have a lot of new drivers that come on board. So we hadn't talked about this pretty much since this option had come out. But yes, this is definitely something. If that switcheroo is pissing you off, you can tell it to screw off and turn it off. And it's real simple because, like I said, it's right down under your filters in your preferences. Turn it off, and then that way you don't need to worry about that switcheroo. So if you're on the way, or let's say you got to turn left, and then all of a sudden it switches and you got to turn right, and it's a 4-lane highway. That's right there, and you got to try to get it. So you got to switch around and all. Oh, it's such a nightmare. It's such a pain in the ass. And that was the exact reason why my Lyft specifications in order to accept the trip was much lower. Had a higher standard than what Uber was, because Uber never did that switcheroo. But if you had like a ride that was like showing 8 minutes, it was probably guaranteed that it was going to be a switch, because when you hit accept, instead of 8 minutes, it'd be like 12 or 13 minutes, because they always estimate the wrong way. They never give you the real estimation of time. So once you figure that out, then you can, okay, yeah, it's 6 minutes claiming to the passenger, but in reality, it's probably more like 9. So you can adjust that. And that completely, I had a much tighter ring of acceptance rate in terms of distance to pick up with Lyft than I did with Uber. Cause I'm like, if I get that goddamn switcheroo again, especially when I'm turning left, it's going right or behind me or something like that, I'm going to kill somebody.
Yeah, it was those switches were at the most inopportune time every single time, But then, actually Lyft did a good thing and put the toggle on switch, and magically these things get toggled on once in a while. So you guys need to check the app. Look, I do this every day now. When I'm going to drive, like tomorrow, actually, I'm driving tomorrow. I'll have to be at the airport because I'm meeting New York Times. We'll have a huge LAX article coming out. So I'm going to meet my writer.
And I'll be there next week.
Good one,
right?
Bro. It's going to be a good one.
All right. Well,
so anyway,
I need to know. We'll have to talk about it after, because I need to know, since I'm going to be at LAX next week.
Yeah, I don't know. God help you with that one. No, but here. So what I'm saying is that before I start driving people, what I do is I go to the Uber app, click preferences, make sure my Uber teen is off, and what I want to do. Right? Do I want to do X and Pool now are commingled in California, but same thing on Lyft. Make sure all your preferences are set correctly. It'll take you 30 seconds to do all this, then you don't have the headache.
Yep, exactly. All right. With that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about Waymo, the crappy company. I mean, the next company. They're having a possible solution to the fact of Uber and Lyft with minors.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I'll tell you what. I will never put my children into a Waymo.
No?
Hell to the friggin' no.
Before?
Because here's the thing. Well, first of all, my kids are smaller, but the problem is some of these parents are putting them in that are probably, my daughter's age or just a touch older. But the problem is, what happens if something is going on? Kids can't voice what's going on. If something's going on and they need help immediately, if there's any issues or something, somebody should be in the car.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But I was on Twitter, and we'll show on the next screenshot, but let's not jump yet. But Waymo starting teen accounts. Number one, there's no driver, so there's no fingerprinting issue, right? Okay, it makes total sense to me that Waymo will do this. Now, if you're a parent and you're willing to put your kid in a Waymo to go to school or soccer practice or whatever, it's your business. I'm not going to say do it or don't do it. But our good old Harry, as you know, he has a driverless digest that he's writing now. And so it looks like Waymo will be launching teen accounts very soon. And that's where I'm pretty sure it's in my app too, because if I looked at it, teens in California can't even request an Uber teen ride anymore due to the recent California Public Utilities Commission thumbs up ruling that requires ride-hailing and taxi companies to fingerprint their driver. I thought that was the best decision CPUC has ever made. Thank you, CPUC. Much appreciated. And then these are some of the comments on our community page. It says, yes, let the machines handle the high-level risk rides, such as DUI stops, jail pickups, bad area pickups, sick patient pickup. There's nobody else left, buddy. Trips out of state and teen rides. I think on teen rides, Waymos make a lot of sense. They're TCP. There's no driver. So at least you don't have the threat of that, right? You just feel maybe safer. Look, again, it's up to each their own. You put your kid in a car without a driver, hey. However, it is definitely happening. And the last comment on this is, my question is, why did Uber opt out of fingerprinting drivers? They don't like that. Right? Mm-hmm. They actually left Austin 9 years ago because the city of Austin forced the Uber to fingerprint all drivers. What do you say, Chris? If every driver were to be fingerprinted, would Uber have a massive supply of drivers or no?
No, they would not. I mean, it could be the cost, but I don't think it's going to be the cost. I think it's the opportunity cost we'll go back with. And that is the fact that, hey, we have some drivers that, they're passing a checker background check. What is a checker background check?
Bullshit.
That's a joke of a check.
I passed mine yesterday, day before yesterday. I was
I got mine, I think it was a couple weeks ago at this point now.
How long did yours take? Mine took like 10 minutes, literally.
The one, I think it was Lyft, took like 10 minutes. Uber took like 3 days.
Really? Mine took 10 minutes on both. I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Do you always, by the way,
literally they were being done at the same time, so it's like, can't you just use it from a central database? But
if you do the if they not force you, but you have to do it every 6 months, I think, anyway, a background check, please require them to send you a copy of your background check. Okay, I do it every time. There's a little box you check, and then you should do that, so you keep a copy of your last background check for proof reasons. But and one last comment, it says yes, give the brats to the robots. I like that one.
Well, you know what, so first off, I would teach my children how to drive, so once they get of age to be able to drive, they're going to drive themselves, and they're going to learn how to drive a stick. So they're going to be able to know, because I'm going to put them in good situations to learn different things, so they know. And I'm not going to deal with this autonomous crap. The only way I would give my children is when my Tesla robot comes in, which is going to be hopefully very soon, or that Chinese one that's coming out that can do a lot of different tasks. I'm going to name her Rosie.
Okay.
I'm naming her Rosie, and she can do all the tasks in my house, meaning clean and dishes and cooking and all that good stuff. And then she can go and, if the kids got to go somewhere, if she's a good driver, then she can take them. But if not, I'll be the one who's driving them until they're at least able to get to that point.
Well, a lot of people supposedly in San Francisco are using Waymos. They're putting their kids to go to soccer practice, gym practice, and school and whatever not. So, and there it is. San Francisco Saturday morning, a large percent of Waymos are ferrying solo kids, 8 to 14-year-olds, presumably to sports and other activities. A friend told me that 85% of parents and their kids' SF school use Waymo for kids pickup drop-off. Earlier, it was 10%. Wow. Shows how Waymo, so that's why I'm saying that, see, Waymo is good for something, because if they call an Uber or a Lyft, if you have $3 worth of brains as a driver and don't accept that trip because they're underage minor, Waymo is taking the slack off, so nobody gets stranded.
Okay, but let's go back to the 8-year-old. Okay. Let's say there's
that's too young for me. 8's too young.
Okay. Let's say that 8-year-old is in a Waymo and all of a sudden has to pee, and you're stuck in traffic, you can't get out. And if you were an actual driver who was driving the car, or a parent, they would know. Oh, okay, well, we're going to find you the closest bathroom so you can get in and hopefully, have it taken care of. Or the kid might piss himself on the way to soccer practice or on the way home and, cause problems. So look, just because we can build it doesn't mean we should. And just because we have it doesn't mean we should use it for what these people are using it for. Look, if you have kids, take care of your kids. I understand you may be busy or stuff, but you know what? They're your kids. Take care of them.
No, I look, man, I wouldn't put my 8-year-old or 12-year-old in a Waymo. No way. But you know how San Francisco is, right? So it's like, but they're doing it. Good luck to them. But this may actually solve a little bit of a problem for us regular Uber and Lyft drivers. As I'm sure all of you have done this. Please don't pick these minors up. Please, the money is not worth it. Please, you have no insurance coverage. God forbid something happens, your life is over. Don't pick these people up.
No, definitely not. Beyond that, let's move on to a little topic that decided to resurface, and that is tip shaving. We talked about this, a couple of months ago at this point now, and it seemed like it was taken care of, but now it seems to be back.
Yeah, it's back with a vengeance. This is from LA. I sent this to Uber, and I said, okay, my Uber contact left, right? within like a day, she responded saying, "Oh, it was only on black. And yes, it happened. We're fixing it, whatever." Right? This is Uber X. Uber. This is Uber X. Now, I have new contacts at Uber who are doing a good job, I'm assuming, because I'm not like with the other one that left. I miss her, actually. There's nothing wrong with you all. I'm not saying this. Like, don't kill me here. So, Chris, you're good at math. Yeah? Yeah?
See.
Okay.
See.
So, do you see this screenshot where it's highlighted, where it says upfront fare? Upfront fare? Yeah. 2280, right? Upfront fare is 2280.
Yep.
Okay. Do you see where it says $4 tip?
Yep.
Okay. What should this tip?
Wait. What's going on here? Well, they do say that 1 + 1 = 3. So I mean, 2280 + 4 is 2342.
Huh? Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. So 21.42 miles, 34-minute trip. Uber X, not like XL or Black. Uber. We have a problem, Houston. Okay. We had this before. You guys fixed it. We appreciate it. This is a no-go. Okay. I mean, I would love. I just sent it to them actually because I got this a couple days ago, and I would love an explanation on this because last time there was an explanation and it was fixed. The math don't add up. Uber,
no, it definitely doesn't. 2280 plus $4.
Yeah,
for the folks who actually understand math and numbers and want to get paid right, that is $26.80. You're missing $3.38 here.
Yeah, well, and the driver sent a nice email that sent it to me. He goes, "Look, 338 is not going to make me rich, and I'm not going to call Black Hole Support and chase it for the rest of the day. But multiply that times how many trips? Hundreds of thousands of trips, millions of trips an hour. Uber, no good, no bueno. We need at least give me an answer." So here it is. The whole shebang is here. This is the receipt. Earnings 2342. Now, Chris, if the trip went shorter, there would be another disclaimer right under the fare saying you were paid less because the trip went shorter, right? Or something.
Yep.
No, straight up. Math is math, Uber. It's a straight tip, $4. Upfront ping was 2280. That's our contract, Uber. That's our contract. Tips are not supposed to go anywhere except to the driver. Okay. So you guys bamboozled $3 and some change here. Please fix this. This is bullshit. So airport fee, all this fee, all that fee. By the way, nice take rate, Uber. Nice take rate on this trip, man. Did you see what they charged the rider, bro?
Yeah, almost $64 for that.
$64, bro.
Whew. And the driver got 23. Wow. Good job.
Good job.
$40 to Uber. 23 for the driver.
What is that?
Enjoy.
65, 70, 60%, 70%? Some ridiculous fucking.
Yeah,
do you see the commercial insurance stuff? Do you see that commercial insurance line item?
Yeah,
$25,
which is insane.
$1.20 a mile.
All those damn insurance, all those billboards that are down Ventura Boulevard saying, "Hey, have you been injured in Uber? Call us. We'll sue you. We'll sue for you."
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, if you look at this, Chris, $25. So Uber is going to say, well, our take rate is not 60% here, okay, or 65%. They're going to go take the 25 out, take the city fee out, take the California driver benefits out. Thanks to us, that went to 79 cents. Take the airport fee out. We didn't make any money on this trip. What are you guys talking about? Is what Uber gonna say.
Well, you know what? What if they were capped and had to pay drivers 80%? What would the cost of this ride look like then?
Oh my God. Yeah. So service fee on this after all the expenses, Uber still made like $20 on this trip. Okay. The expenses on this trip, 24, or 25, 19, 79, and 420 is more than what the driver made. But
Well, yeah, the
the point is not
$25
the
just for
take rate,
commercial
Uber. We
insurance
got the
was.
take rate. That's not the point. Where is the tip? What happened here? We need to know.
Well,
Now, I
if you
know you
look,
guys are taking a screenshot of this. I'm sure you guys are going to look into this trip. Please let me know
well,
what
I
the
will tell you right
explanation is.
now, the upfront fare was $22.80,
Yeah.
and they earned more because of a rider left a tip. But the problem is they decided to change the base fare to $19.42.
What? Yeah, I know. How?
That's
I mean,
where
look at it. Look
that's
at
where
it. Look.
that's where they got the $23.42 from.
Well, any way you look at it, you add 22.80 plus 4, or you take 23.42 minus the 19.42. Why the 22.80 minus 19.42 is what happened?
The different, it's the difference between what the driver should have gotten and what they actually got.
Yeah,
Absolute
why
bullshit.
upfront fare? I mean, the trip didn't go short, nothing happened. Your algo didn't catch it up. You just because you remember we had this problem before. Remember, they released this like 2 years ago. I did a huge article, and that was the first time my contact came around. They even made me take the article down. Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Which
I remember you were on the
reluctantly
phone with me
did
for like an
because,
hour venting, pissed off about that.
yeah, they were. Remember, and that's when my relationship started with Uber. And so point is, it was exactly this. They put the upfront and they put the other number, and no number made sense. And I go like, shit, I'm gonna write an article. I have 500 trips like this. So I guess you guys glitched again. You know, this.
Yeah, you know what the glitch was? Hey, we need to find some extra money so we could put it in a T-bill area for the time being, and then once we make our money back, then we'll be able to we'll say it was a glitch and we'll pay our drivers back.
Don't get me started there. By the way, that that article's still online somewhere. I still have it on my hard drive. All those, somebody released all those upfront fare versus the actual fare, right? And so it looks like it's happening again, Uber. So I would love an explanation for this. Okay.
Yeah, I think the driver would also like his few dollars back and not having to deal with support to get that back.
Well, if this is happening to you people, you guys saw it clearly. If this is happening to you, please email me all the screenshots you want, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, because this is no good.
Yeah, exactly. And so yes, the big moral of this story is check all of your screenshots, check or take screenshots. So when you get the ride that comes in, make sure you take a screenshot of that, of the ride offer. Then when you get the receipt, take a screenshot of that. If there's any discrepancies where you should be getting more than what they're showing, something's going on there, definitely hit up Sergio for that.
Yeah, please. Yep.
All right. With that being said, let's talk about getting money. Sergio, you're getting $1,600. So you're taking me out when we come next week?
Absolutely, buddy.
When I'm in town?
I'm gonna take you to the best barbecue joint. It's better than Texas. So I know you don't know this. We haven't spoken about this. So after the show, we'll talk about it. I am doing a half-hour live stream, Chris, because it just came out today, on Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, Thursday at 2.
We're going to have two people. We're going to have the CEO of SETC and the marketing director of SETC on as well. And we're going to discuss this for half hour. And it's going to be a live stream. I'm getting $1,680. I'm almost at the last stage, about to fill out my paperwork, send it in, and then wait for my money to show up. This is not for California. This is for everyone. Okay?
Well,
there's a deadline here. There's a deadline that's April 15th. But if you did file an extension for the tax year of 2022 and 2023, then you'll have until October to file and get your money. The millions of dollars is sitting there. I think close to $200,000 were, well, it's, I think the Andrew just emailed me saying it's up to 190,000. RSG audience got 190,000. Well, that doesn't include my 1680. Hey man, 1680 is 1680. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's a very easy process. They've been vetted. A lot of people think these are scams. Look, there were scammers when this thing came out, the tax credits. So I'm getting that, but I'm going to do a special live stream. If you're interested, please join me on Thursday at 2 p.m. with 2 people from SETC. I will answer all your questions. It's very easy process. You go to their website and you do it, and then see if you're first entitled to anything. Once the calculations are made, the final numbers come back to you, and after that, you just fill out paperwork, print it, and mail it to the IRS, and then wait for your refund. So that's what's happening on Thursday. So what is that for? You're going to say. So gig workers, rideshare drivers, and independent contractors, this is for you. You could qualify if you missed work due to contracting COVID, quarantine requirements, caring for sick and family member. Well, my two kids did not go to school. That was my part. Dealing with school or daycare closures. So the deadline's coming up. Go to SETC Pros and start the process. There's no upfront fees. They don't ask you for upfront. It's a contingency thing. If you get it, they'll take their commission and move on. And we're going to talk about all these things, numbers. I don't want to give too much detail on Thursday. So here's my number, 1,680. Last step. Click. And I'm done. There you go.
Nice.
Hey, man.
So I'll be expecting a nice dinner next week.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. You know, I mean, what day are you coming? So should we talk about Herbivore now or later?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Yeah, why not?
What day are you coming in?
Later, but yeah, for those who don't know, Herbivore is next week, and it's in downtown LA. I will be there. Sergio will be there. I'm flying in Wednesday and going to be hanging out. So if anybody is in the LA area and wants to get together, we can do a meetup or something like that. Or better yet, come to Herbivore. If you want to get your tickets with a massive discount, you can get it for $5. Link's going to be in the description. A lot of good food from what I hear. Sergio has been raving about it for the last couple of years, and I'm finally excited to check it out. Did you get the email about the bathroom?
I sent it to you. I sent it to some people.
No, you didn't send it to me. I got this from the company itself.
Oh, I got it. I sent it to Andrew and Harry. I was like laughing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Throne Labs. Shout out to Throne Labs. The
throne, baby. Throne. It's my throne. It's my office. No, but seriously, Herbivore next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, April 11th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I assure you the food and the drinks are good. Free. You can come early, get your coffee, and then come back, drive a little bit in downtown, do a few trips, come back. Go to eventbrite.com. Find Herbivore at exit. Use Sergio, Sergio 5. It's $5. Let me tell you something. The food you're going to eat is definitely going to be more than $25. And they don't run out. They just serve and serve and serve. So come meet us. Come meet some CEOs. We may do some tests. We have giveaways. We have a couple of really nice giveaways. And yeah, and Chris is coming from Buffalo. You're coming Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
yeah, I'm flying in Wednesday. I should be getting in at 4:50 something in the afternoon. So right in time for rush hour. So I'll get to the hotel at like 7.
Okay.
If I'm lucky.
And then once you do that, then the next day I'll come and pick you up downtown. And then we have our thing on Thursday, but then Friday we're going to be at Herbivore. So it's the first time Chris is coming out to Herbivore in the last 4 years. So Harry, thank you. But should be a good time, man. Should be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, if you're in the area, or if you're in the surrounding area, come on, check it out.
Okay.
All right. With that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about where are we? Uber constantly losing money on a driver. Hell yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
I think he was in the chat. Maybe he's still in the chat. I saw him. Daniel Duke. I did it behind the wheel with him. He's he likes talking, so I had no problem. So somehow, Chris, Daniel is making Uber lose money week after week after week after week. How do you think he's doing it?
Yeah. I like it.
How do you think he's doing it? I know how he's doing it. There he is. There he is. Search Sniper. Right there. Right there.
Oh,
So
there he
Daniel,
is.
how you doing this, Daniel? How you making Uber lose money? I know how you're doing it, but you know what? At the end of the show, I know our topic is not that, but maybe you can come on for like 5 minutes and then tell people how you're making Uber lose money. You know what I mean? So from February 24th to March 24th, Uber service fee was negative $1267.90. The number is negative because you made more from fares and promotions than the customer price, excluding tips, which are always 100% yours. There is no cost to you, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I'm averaging on a weekly basis negative 300 on the Uber platform. Well,
Oh
he
yeah.
does it. See, that's how he does it right there. Right there. Oh, no, hold on. Oh, right there. No surge, no profit, no trip. That's how you do
There
it.
you go.
That's how you do it.
There you go.
That's how you do it. And in Arizona, they have standard versus advantage. Standard mode for the last 3 weeks because I don't think he's buying this 5% extra hocus pocus. You know what I'm saying? So
You know,
yeah.
that's the test I want to run too. I want to run standard versus vantage mode. You get a couple of drivers that are sitting right next to each other, run the test and see if it's actually 5% more or if it's some shenanigan number.
Joey boy, you're taking yourself way too seriously, bro. Either you're drunk or you're taking yourself way too seriously. So yeah, I mean, great, you know. Okay, if you do a lot of search trips, right? Uber actually does not make as much money on search trips, like high search trips. And I know, you know, look at his name. His name is Search Sniper. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, whatever search he's sniping, I don't know if it's searching in, you know, Phoenix or Arizona or wherever he's driving. I know he's in Arizona. I think it's in Phoenix or Tucson. But long story short, he's finding the surge. When there is surge, Uber doesn't make as much money because they cannot charge, you know, too much to the rider because then they'll go to Lyft. So that's how Uber loses money. But man, that's 300 a week after week. I don't know. I'm shocked he's
That's
still on the
awesome.
platform.
You know what? I think Sensei needs to divulge the information to continue this
Yes,
to a
please.
wider array of drivers. So then that way you can see that the Uber service fee is negative $1,200 in your account too. And then that way you can be like,
You
oh,
know, how many people
this
do you
is so
think don't even check that, Chris? How many people don't? Because that used to be my badge of honor. Every week I would make sure that Uber's losing money. How many people do even they check, right?
You know, I would say it's probably a little bit more than you think.
You think so? All right.
Yeah.
Well, check it, people.
I mean, because I think a lot of people are pissed off at what they're making and they're looking at it and seeing how much is Uber making. So I think they're looking.
If you're complaining about that, then change your style. Change your strategy because there is a way of lowering that take rate. Trust me, people. So, but some of you may say, "Oh, that's too much work. I'm only driving 10 hours a week. I'm just going to make a couple $100 and go away." I'm like, I get it. But a lot of people complain about, "Oh, Uber's taking too much money." I'm like, "Oh, well, this guy, Uber's not taking any money on this guy. None. He's gone negative." So there's a way. There's a way. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about a poll that we put up a little bit ago, 4 days, and it's about our dash cameras. So drivers, this is a fantastic number, but it's not at the same time because the emails that Sergio gets, it's 1 out of 10. So this is a you know, kind of close to half, but it needs to really be 95 to 100% in people who have dash cameras.
I'm surprised with this number, actually. I really am. Pleasantly surprised, I mean. You know, I didn't expect 44. I expected like 20. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, after the numbers that you get from the emails, I mean, it makes sense, but yeah, I guess the reality is, you know, if you're a good driver, hey, you're going to get a dash camera.
You know, great that almost half of you, a little bit less than half of you have dash cams. And I sent you an email like last hour. Did you put those videos up?
Wasn't it the same?
No. Well, I sent you forwarded you 2 videos.
Oh, I thought they were the same video.
Well, you can show either one. We will show you. Are we going to show one? Either one?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay.
I'll
So
get it
while I'm
up.
talking, okay.
Loaded.
So, okay, if you're driving 10 hours, 20 hours, like that driver, 78 hours, you need a dash cam. Number one. Okay. No ifs, no buts. Here's the driver.
Okay. Damn it.
What to say on the upper left-hand corner? Nexar. Okay, so the other one actually, Chris, shows the actual accident from the forward-facing, the way the accident happened. It was a weird accident, and if you can load it up. We'll wait like a minute, but yeah, man, accidents, you don't know when it's going to happen. And one last thing about this is, okay, as you guys know, Nexar is our sponsor, was our sponsor. I have the camera. I installed it. Actually, tomorrow when I do trips, I want to use it. Chris has it. We still have a deal with them. If you go to Nexar, getnexar.com, use RSG Nexar, you get more of a discount. Look at this accident. Look at this. The guy's minding his own business. Watch that white car.
You okay. Damn it.
Can you show it again? Because look what happens. I mean, this is like a freak of an accident. Watch that white car.
You okay. Damn it.
Damn it.
Why do you need a dash cam? That's why you need a dash cam.
Man, I give that driver props because I would have been going up and down that mother effer like much more than just damn it.
Yeah, he held his shit together, bro. Because the other thing is, you see there's like a double yellow in the middle. So the car is coming. He couldn't get out of the way. If he goes there's cars coming, straight ahead. So he didn't go into the other lane. He tried. He went as far left as he could, but he sent it to me. So no, I think the road was a little slippery. It looked like kind of wet, and that car was way over speed and lost control, and shit happens. So you need a dash cam, and if you need one of the best ones that I know of is Nexar. Please go get nexar.com. But I'm very pleasantly surprised with that 44%. So that means 46% still don't have dash cam. Please go get it. Please do it.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely need one. I mean, crazy shit like that happens and you have no idea. And how many times have we seen something where it talks about a dash camera, that people get a dash camera after the fact, after something happens. No, you need to be proactive and get it before something happens, so you have it on film. With me, it was the same exact way. The reason why I got a dash camera was because of a couple of rides that happened. It was just some weird, crazy situations and things like that that was going on. And so that's why I decided to get one. And, long time ago, best decision I ever made. And, had one ever since.
Yeah. That's but yeah, you need a dash cam. I mean, now he has proof, and the accident happened like a week after he got his Nexar and installed it. Because you notice the Nexar on the upper left-hand corner there?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go get it.
Yep. Get a dash camera, whether it's Nexar or something else, get a dash camera. Just be protected, protect yourself.
Please get it.
So many issues out there. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some facts and funnies. And this one you put up, I was going to text you. We should probably put this on but
community page.
To it, so, huh?
Oh, you want to? Oh, you want to put this on the community page and not read it, or do you want to?
No. This is. I was going to text you to say to put this on the show.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
When he
Great minds
this.
think alike. Then I'll let you read it while I'm sipping on my apple juice. Cheers, everyone. Be
Cheers
safe
to 150. All right. Well, yes, this was a post. This was by Matt, right?
No, This was by another driver that's the driver I'm trying to chase down, bro.
Oh, okay. I could.
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe he quote tweeted it or something.
No, it
but
wasn't Matt. It was yeah, no, anyway. Yeah.
All right. So this was something I think through ChatGPT. So it says Uber controls drivers with an algorithmic system disguised as independence, using penalties, restrictions, and rewards to manipulate the behavior. Summed up pretty perfectly right there. Although drivers are allowed to freely turn on and off the app once logged in, it imposes rules that limit autonomy and pressure them to accept unprofitable rides. Yes, it does. This demonstrates that drivers are not truly independent contractors, but workers subject to invisible control that maximizes Uber's profits without recognizing labor rights. And again, I completely agree with all of that.
Yeah.
If you don't, put in the comments why you don't and what you think. So here's the checklist on how Uber controls its drivers. First, a manipulated acceptance rate. Penalizes declined by dropping the percentage quickly while increasing it slowly when accepting rides. How many times have you hit the decline button and then all of a sudden you're like, why did it go down like 3%? I only denied it once, down 3%. And then you accept a few and it's like, wait, it hasn't gone up yet. It hasn't gone up. So we see that. Destination restriction during high demand. Yes, absolutely. Blocks the option to set a destination, forcing drivers to accept any trip. Then there's airport ride radar, creates artificial competition, removing fair ride assignments and lowering fares. Threat of suspension or fewer rides. Lower acceptance or cancellations reduce the access to, to profitable trips. Conditional reward system. Benefits like priority support, promotions, and better rides depend on the following hidden rules. Price control. Uber sets fares without allowing drivers to negotiate or set their own prices. Fake independence. You can choose when to log in, but once inside, Uber dictates how you operate under threat of penalties. And constant rule changes. Uber modifies conditions without notice, impacting drivers' strategies and profitability. Boom.
Well, mic drop. Anything the ChatGPT learned pretty good on this one, huh?
Yep.
I don't think I could say it better myself, so we go to the next one.
Well, yeah, not much more to say there. But if you agree or disagree, put in the comments or the chat why, and then that way we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, sure.
But then another day, another deuce.
Matt drops deuces, man. Yeah, I mean, not the way what you guys think it is. So another day, another deuce from Matt. Matt's like a New York driver, bro. It's just brutal.
I mean, he is in Boston, so let's be real.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cold there too, so everybody's pissed off.
Yeah, just drop a deuce on this rider. Disrespectful and cleanliness. I can see this happening. I have had a few smelly passengers. Yeah. And I'm not talking marijuana. That's putting
it pleasantly. And that's putting it pleasantly.
Yeah, I'm not talking marijuana smell. So,
No.
Shower people. Shower.
I'm talking about that odor.
Fuck.
Some people just don't understand that you should be showering all the time. Or do you use something called deodorant?
At least every other day, people just shower. I mean, fucking shower. Like, you go to the gym, you don't shower, you come in my car, and it's like, I mean, it's my car. But anyway, so Matt is good. Matt posts these on Twitter and just another deuce, another day. Like, yeah, drop the deuce. Well, that's what you do.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Well, just going back, Surge Sniper, thanks for hitting that member. Appreciate that. Then I saw another one, super chat. Hey, Rides My City are paying 50% less, and Lyft is not paying, is not proving upfront fares.
Providing
rides in airports. Not sure what you said there. Providing.
Probably. Thank you for the super chat.
I appreciate it.
You can email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, like all of you can. So let's do it behind the wheel. There's like 300 of you here. One of you should be a candidate for behind the wheel. Done. There you go. You will not pick up Chris at LAX. The time he's showing up, bro, let me tell you something. 5 p.m., he's going to show up at his hotel at like 9 o'clock. So, but I'm going
Oh
to go
yeah,
pick
yeah.
him up
If
tomorrow.
I
The
get the
next
freaking
day,
hotel,
we have
that's a whole
we have
different
all day
story.
next day. So I'm going to take him to lunch, and then we'll have our thing at 5 p.m. So we're going to spend the day together the next day. So there you go.
All right. Well, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. So again,
I hope the
shout out
weather is good. Is
Herbivore
the
next
weather?
week.
Yeah,
I don't
hopefully
know.
the
We'll have to
weather
look,
is
but
going to cooperate.
yeah, Herbivore next week, Friday.
Can you
Should
join?
be a good
Yeah, you
time.
can join. Yeah, Herbivore next Friday. Get your ticket. Sergio 5. Go to Eventbrite. I'm telling you, you will have a good time. And we may do some tests. We may have some fun. We may talk about that's
Appreciate it, bro.
that's the
That's
driver
the
that
that's
got
the tip.
that's his trip, Chris. He's the one with the
Yeah.
tip shaving. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
Mo, I hope you get your $3 plus.
oh, we're gonna try. We're gonna try. And also, he was the one in our More Perfect Union video as well.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm if he was in the MPU video, he's LA based, which means
He's
you
LA
better be.
based. I'm sure he'll come to Herbivore. Yeah, Mo, you're coming to Herbivore, right? When? April 11th, William. But you're in Cleveland. Are you coming? Is
Next
William
week.
coming? I don't know. Is he?
I don't
Are you
know.
coming to Herbivore? Come on down.
He teased last week that he said, "Hey, I might show up." So
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
right. That's right. That's right. Yep. Okay. All right. Well,
We'll
all of you,
see.
please come down. If you're Inland Empire, Orange County, LA County, wherever you are, just get your ticket and show up. We're going to put you on a panel. We're going to have a good discussion. We're going to have a good time. And it's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you have plenty of time to show up. Yep.
All right. Anything more, Sergio?
No, man. So we're not. Are we doing driver's corner today or no?
You didn't send me a topic, so I don't know.
I did. I was like on the email. I said today we're going to talk because we finished with the Matt's Deuce, right? So what is your criteria on rating riders? That was going to be the topic.
I'm looking at the email right now. Oh,
It's right. It's
you
right
had it in the
after.
wrong spot, bro. Wrong
Bro,
spot.
I had too much going on this week. Search now for Sergio. How much money waiting time worldwide do you think Uber? Oh, see, I don't know. Worldwide on top of that. If you say like, look, multiply times 7 minutes, and most people are ready. Look, I've got to give it to the writers. Most writers are ready, but you do wait. Yeah, let's do that. You guys want to come on for a couple of minutes? All right, you want to put the link up?
Yeah, give me a second.
Send the link. I'll hop in. Okay, Brent, here we go. Here comes the link. There's the link. We got 3 minutes for each driver. 3 drivers. Don't have like 50 people show up. While you guys are picking the links, here's my apple juice. Here's my hat off to all of you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for getting us to 150 episodes. Thank you, Chris. Much appreciated. Harry, thank you for the platform. I'm thankful. I'm humbled. We've done some good work. We really have. I know there are other channels, but I think we're the drivers' advocates, and we always are listening, and we're always trying to get things better for you guys. But without you guys, we wouldn't exist. So please support us. Continue supporting us. And when I first started, I think it was the 100th show, I said, if you build it, they will come. And I think we have built something really, really wonderful here, this community, and we keep growing. So please, accept my thanks to all of you. Keep sharing your screenshots. I read everything. I respond to everything. Yes, it may be a little delayed now because it's just too many, but I try. And without you guys, like without Mo Nuri sending me that chip saying, oh, Serge, chip shaving is back, how would I know that? It has to happen to me. Mm-hmm. So if anything out of the ordinary is happening to you, please send it to me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. We will keep these companies straight, or we'll try to do our best to keep him straight. I have relationships with these companies. It's not a paid relationship. I'm trying to be the bridge between you guys and these companies. And I think we've done a good job. So thank you for the support. Much, much appreciated. And hopefully we'll have another 150, Chris. We'll see how it goes.
And we'll see. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. And, we couldn't do it without you guys. So we appreciate everybody that shows up or, shares the show or likes the show. With that being said, smack that like, And then that
Agreed,
way, you know, it can reach more drivers, and hopefully we can get even bigger community out there. And
Yeah.
you know, like I say, if we're hitting one from Mo, but maybe it's not happening to anybody else, or they're not noticing, but you know, somebody who doesn't watch the show or know about the channel or anything, it's happening to them. They won't know. So yeah, that's definitely something we want to help with. So
So cheers
build a real community.
to good health. Please be safe. Get a dash cam. Stay safe. And thank you. I appreciate it. All right.
All right,
So,
well, let's bring on
today's
Brent
topic, we got to stick with the topic. Today's topic is, what is your criteria in rating your ride? Brent, how are you, man?
Good. How are you? How you doing, guys?
Good yourself.
Good. So my criteria is I used to be pretty chill in the very beginning, but now I'm pretty much 3-starring you and blocking you if you get in my car smelling like an ashtray, or you smell of BO really bad. I mean, obviously anything bodily fluid related, you're getting a 1-star. And I mean, we all know nowadays it's just impossible to get a cleaning fee. So I just kind of do what I can to clean up and then keep going and making money, because that's the best option nowadays, unfortunately. But
Are you on both platforms?
Come again?
Are you on both platforms?
Yes, I am on both platforms, but here in my market, I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, and here in my market, we surge a lot more on Uber than we do on Lyft. I'll see $20 and $25 surges, and Lyft is capping out at $6 and $7. It's really hard to even justify using Lyft. You know, it tells you the estimated hourly rate on Lyft, and it hardly ever goes over like $22 to $25 an hour in my market, unless it's surging decent. And at that point, like I said, I'm on Uber. Glad to see Daniel in here, another surge sniper, by the way. Glad other people are smart like that too. Glad we got a few of us around.
No. We got a lot of us. We got a lot of us. We got a lot of us.
I have noticed I've noticed over the last 2.5 to 3 years that like certain spots that I used to find myself alone at, I will now find the same repeated drivers will be going to that same spot over and over throughout the night. And it's really good to see other drivers finally learning, hey, go to that hot spot, get that money.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you, man. Much appreciated. Hope you have a dash cam. If you don't, go get one. Be safe.
Definitely.
Be safe. Please be safe. And thank you for coming on.
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too. Well, here's Mr. Uber. You lose your ass to me. Third sniper, Daniel.
You guys are great. Today, I only worked a little bit in the morning. I've had some things I've had to do around my house and whatnot. It's been overcast, and the surges out here, I don't know. I was looking at them while I was listening to you guys. I was laying in bed. Thought I'd come out and get some fresh air because the wind's blowing around out here and whatnot. But yeah, like, I don't know. You know, I used to be that driver, okay, that kept my requests on and accepted trip after trip after trip that Uber would send me. I was Diamond Driver when they brought that program in. They just grandfathered me in. I was automatically Diamond Driver. It wasn't until about 2 years ago that I was talking to some other veteran drivers, and they said, you're doing it wrong. And I was gradually watching the income get less and less. And then when I changed my routine, it shot back up. So after listening to the show yesterday with Len, the guy Len on X Spaces, drivers coast to coast, no driver should have their requests on, because that's earning Uber money, and it's also making someone wait when there could be another driver on the way to pick up that person who's waiting for you to complete their trip. And then at the same time, it gives that customer the ability to cancel for free. If they want to, they can cancel 5 minutes later because they look in their Uber app and there's a little white circle and a line that you're driving to with your customer in your car. You're holding on to their trip. You're making them wait longer. Uber's extracting more money out of them and paying you less when it's possible you're dropping that person off in a nice surge pool, but you'll never get that surge because the algorithm is designed to send you trips away from the surge. And if you don't have a second device, you'll never know that you're dropping off in a surge.
Yep, for sure. So those are all good
So-
things, but that's not our topic. Our
I
topic is
know.
what is
All
what is
right.
your no, I let you do it because you know we
He's
put
the
your
sniper.
screenshot up, so we give you some time. But what is your
Yeah.
criteria in rating riders?
Oh, my criteria, honestly, have you guys seen Black Mirror? Season 3, episode 1, it's called Nosedive, where everyone lives in a world where they rate their interactions with other human beings. Like
Yeah.
what kind of world was that in Black Mirror? It was fiction,
Yeah.
but it was a world where everyone was having their behavior modified by other people and their ratings. And if your rating dropped too low, you couldn't even get an Uber. You couldn't get into a hotel. You couldn't fly on a plane. And my whole thing with the rating system is it's communistic and I don't like it. Out of the 30,000 trips that I've done, 23,000 plus of them are rider trips. And I would say out of those rider trips, maybe there are 4 or 5 1-stars, and the rest I just gave everyone 5 stars. One night when I was driving my Prius, I had this group of people. There was 2 women and 2 men, and it was a multiple stop trip. I was taking part of the group to a hotel in Scottsdale, and I dropped off 2 of the women and a man at that hotel, and then the last rider was going to another hotel, and I said to him, I said, "Hey, those girls that you were riding with, they're pretty cute. How come one didn't stay with you?" And he says to me, "Well, the other girl was my wife's sister." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so bad." And then the next thing, he's sitting directly behind me. I'm in the Prius, and he blows chunks all over the back of my seat. Okay, all over the back. I think some of it got in. I think some of it got in my hair, and I'd already made that night. I'd already made over $400. So if you have someone that's gonna barf in your car, you never want it at the beginning of your shift. You want it always at the end. And he was really sorry. He was apologizing profusely to me. And I said to him, my night's over. I gotta take you to the hotel still. I gotta clean this mess up. And I'm gonna have to because the first thing when riders barf in my car, I'll pull into a gas station where there's lots of light and I'll say, "Hey, I have to stop and take pictures." Well, they're in the mess. And that way it's total proof to Uber that it was them,
Well,
And while they're in the mess, I start taking pictures. I've done it every time. I've never had to submit receipts, although I know.
now you will. Now you will.
I know it's been a long time since I've had a mess. No one's ever thrown up in the Tesla that I'm driving, so keep my fingers crossed on that. But to make a long story short, I gave the guy gave me 200 cash. I said, "You know what? You're giving me 200." I was like, 5 stars. Don't tell your wife's sister. Don't tell because it wasn't even his account. It was the guy who ordered the ride. It was the first group that I dropped off. I gave him 5 stars. It was like I didn't care. I got 200 cash.
Good to see you. Keep making Uber lose money and keep posting those. And but you know what the algo is going to do, right? Algo is going to figure out how do we get Daniel back? How do we get our money back from this guy? You know what I mean? And
You know what?
like
They're
an
going
ad
to
in
pool it out to
Boston is
other
also a
drivers.
search
So the other
factor, and
drivers in the area, they're going to get it from them.
But here's something that's really weird that I've had happen. I'll be working, and they'll be like, when I'm dropping off, there's a surge nearby. I get that. I do the next call. And then surge is dried up. It's gone. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to turn the app off and go home. I leave the app off while I'm driving home. And then all of a sudden I see on the app, there's a big red circle ahead of me. I turn it back on and I keep working. I don't know if the algo is like wanting me or it's luck of the draw.
You're a good driver. You know what you're doing. You know your rhythm of your city, and more importantly, you didn't give in. You're not driving the way they want you to drive. You're driving the way you want to drive, right?
Exactly.
There is zero question. I know this for a fact. I have information on this. That surge drivers earn a hell of a lot more money than except 100% drivers. That I know for a fact. But we're going to end with that. Thank you for coming on. Much appreciated.
Yep. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it as well.
Arizona, I'll look you up when I come to Arizona one day.
Yeah, look me up. Definitely. All right.
Take care now. Be safe.
All right, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
All right. So that was Driver's Corner. Anything last to say there, Serge?
Nope. I'm going to finish my drink. And again, thank you, everyone. Thank you for the support. Please put a thumbs up today, but always put a thumbs up. We're putting out good content. We're trying to help you guys. I'm going to drive tomorrow morning. So, yeah. But this will be out of my system. Apple Juice will be out of my system by then.
Yeah.
So, again, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. And we'll be back next week with one of the favorites, Jay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you have a good rest of your day and enjoy. We'll see you guys next week.